Excellent. So I want to say welcome. Thank you, Jay. Jay, thank you for such a wonderful introduction. Good to see you again after all these years. I know you're doing some awesome work. So
Brilliant, Mac.
we'll
I'll
catch up.
hand over to you. So away you go. Thank you very much, Mac, and I'll speak to you soon.
Awesome. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So for everyone on the call here, I was sitting in listening to Jay teaching. Amazing, great advice. Take the advice, utilize the advice. That's the most important thing, actually using it. Now, if you're here right now watching this particular webinar and you are looking at growing your income or growing your money situation, please put yes in the chat box so I know who I am talking to. If you're here right now looking at growing your business, your money, or your wealth, give me a yes. So I'll get a yes from Jerry, Peter. I've got, where are we? Alex, lots of names here. Very, very good. Some people, Patch, thank you. Esther, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, you're in the right place. The name of my talk here is what I'm going to be sharing with you is what I call the business growth secrets. So this is a masterclass that I'm going through with you. So I would say take notes where you can. What's the most important thing you're going to get? I'm going to share with you the strategies that our clients are using right now to grow their business, typically between 20% and 200% in less than a year. How? There's a particular framework that they use. I'm going to share that with you. You can make notes on that. You can apply that as well. And so I'm excited. So before I get into this, I want to say thank you to the Internet Business School, Simon Coulson, who I've known for many, many years. We've shared the stage around the world, around the UK rather, many, many times. Jay Hastings, I've known for a while as well. So Internet Business School, thank you for asking me to come and speak here. So one thing you'll know about me is that when I teach, it's not a lecture. I will be asking you questions. So don't find it strange if I ask you a question. It's not to treat you like a 4-year-old. It's just so that we can have a conversation. I don't do lectures. I do training. So I want to be getting involved in the training as if we were in the room live together. If that's okay with you, give me a yes if that's okay. Let's train our money-making muscles. Andy says, yes, thank you, Alan. Thank you, Jerry. All right, Esther, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so what I'm going to say is this. Take a notebook and pen. You've probably got one already. And you may have been framed on this already, but get away from Facebook and social media and any distractions in the short time that we're here together. Because people say to me, Mac, I missed what you just said there. I needed to pay attention. And when I say everything is one thing and everything is energy. Why? Because when two people come together in any business situation, in any marketing situation, in any sales situation, the person with the highest energy generally wins. I'll say that again. The person with the highest energy generally wins. So I want you to take this opportunity to check in on your own energy. Are you slouching right now? Are you watching the TV with one eye and listening to the thing? Are you really seriously looking at growing your business and growing your money? If you are and you've got low energy, it's going to be very difficult. And the best thing is this, when your energy is up, guess what? You learn more quicker as well. So I'm ready. So if you have any, so I would say this, I will ask you questions and just put it in there. I will ask you to share things, put it into the chat box. I've got a chat box here. I can see what's coming on there. I'm excited to work with you here for this little time we're here together. Now, before I go on, is it okay to tell you a little bit about my background, what I do, how I help people, how I make a difference in this world? Give me if that's okay, give me an okay. Jerry says, go for it. Patch says, go for it. These guys have the energy I'm talking about because they are interacting. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Right, let's go. So as Jay said, I'm based in the UK. I run my businesses from the UK, but the most important thing about me, I'm a family man. I love being with my family. I love doing different things. We love adventures. We love traveling. We love going different places. When I'm not with my family, I oversee 5 of my businesses, and I have a multi-million pound real estate property business. We have a marketing company. We have a training and coaching company, amongst others. And I'm not involved in all my businesses. I've structured them in a way to give me the freedom that I really, really like. And this is us in Hawaii. So I've been married to my wife now. This year we celebrated 21 years of marriage, and 21 years we've been together. We've got 3 children, and we've got a 20-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a 14-year-old as well. This is us in Egypt. And I always talk about my family because that's my big why. That's the reason why I do the things I do. I'm an international best-selling author on Amazon. I'm a publisher of 4 books. I've got 2 other books in the pipeline as well. My latest book, which was published only last year, called The Millionaire Moment. It talks about really I was broke for many years, and how I turned that around to become a multi-millionaire. I talk about that in that book. Some of you don't know me, you would have heard of this gentleman. His name is Les Brown. I'm sure you've heard of Les Brown. I did some work for his people, for his organization. This is what he said about me. Listen carefully.
Hello, my name is Les Brown. I'm a speaker and an author, and it is my business to know who is it that can really make a difference for you and for your organization. Mac Attram is that person. You're looking to grow yourself and your business, because the speed of the leader, the speed of the group. You're looking for ways in which you can get the best out of your people. Make sure you call him, because he will not only provide information, methods, and strategies, but also create an experience that will give them a larger vision of themselves, increase their sales, productivity, and morale. Make sure when you're looking for someone to make real impact, Mac Attram, he's the man.
Yeah, so if you're looking at increasing your sales, which I did for his people, increase their sales, increase their productivity, increase their efficiency, I can help. Now, this other gentleman you would have heard of, he's the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, who's a friend of mine. I've had the pleasure to travel internationally around the world with him. In fact, over 12 tours I've done now. This is him introducing me onto the stage in a moment. And what would happen is he will speak about real estate, property, financial education. He'll bring me on. I'll talk about business and growing wealth through business. So this is what he says. Listen very carefully.
This is Mac Attram. He's going to be up here. Great friend of mine, great coach, great teacher for people who want to be entrepreneurs. Mac Attram! Mac Attram!
Okay, so that was us in Kazakhstan, I believe. And when I went to Kazakhstan, that's when I realized that my name was Mac Attram. I didn't know that, so I told my parents, my new name is Mac Attram. So that's in Kazakhstan. Anyway, I share the stage with people like Brian Tracy. I've been featured, as Jay said, in various media, Forbes, CNBC. Pre-COVID, I was traveling around the world teaching around over 30 countries. This is India, over 2,000 people. This is Germany, over 2,000 people again. And I share all those things with you, not to brag or boast, but simply to make clear to you that my life wasn't always that way. Today, I'm totally financially free, multi-millionaire, and I've had many accolades as a great coach, several businesses. But there was a time in my life when things were total opposite. I was totally broke, in the sense that I was working very hard to run my very first business. And it was actually, ironically, it was an internet e-commerce business, and which then grew into multi-application in terms of doing computer networking and all that. And what happened was I was working hard. I ended up working 80 hours a week, 90 hours a week sometimes. And I was only married for a few short years. And I remember at that time, my wife was pregnant with our second child. And we'd been married for a few short years. And those few short years, and when our first child came on board, I was hardly around. And I missed very early, first 3 or 4 years of our first child's life. And now my wife's pregnant with our second child. I'm working all these hours. I'm hardly at home. It came to a point where I felt she was going to leave me because of the arguments we were having. I was never around, or because the business I was running, I had 2 business partners. Those business partners cheated on the business, stole a lot of money. Now that left me in a problem. I then borrowed as much as I can in order to get the business surviving and pay all our debts. And now I'm over $100,000 in debt, loans that I've borrowed, credit cards. I mean, it was a mess. I was over $100,000 in debt. My health was poor. My health was deteriorating. My doctor said, I've got to take it easy. I've got to slow down. But I couldn't because I've got to pay my staff. And I remember driving home from my office one day, which is if you know London, my office was in North London. I live in West London. And that's an hour and a half travel time sometimes. And 5 minutes from my home one evening, I remember it was a September evening, I parked my car in this shopping center car park. And it was close to about 8 o'clock in the evening, about 7:30, going to 8 o'clock. And I sat there with my hands on the wheels, sitting there just sobbing and crying and feeling sorry for myself. And the thing that kept coming to my mind is this: are you a failure? I'm a failure. How did I get to this situation where my business is not working? My wife it looks like my wife's going to leave me. I'm not seeing my first child. We've got another child coming on board. My health is deteriorating. How did I get here? And in that moment, after some time, I came to realize that I created this situation. And there's a lot of things I don't know. In that moment, I decided that something has to change. I have to change. So I went on the journey of self-discovery. And I'm telling you this right now because it's so, so important. I went on a journey of self-discovery to understand, how do rich and successful people do business? How do they become wealthy? How do happy people become happy? How do you have better relationships? And on that journey, I realized that there was a lot of things I was doing in my life and business which wasn't working. And I started to change. And in less than 2 years, I was able to fix my business. And then I sold that business. When I sold that business, I started focusing on acquiring other businesses and also acquiring real estate property. So everything changed once I learned how to do it properly. And the reason why I'm in front of you here today is this. Actually, let me ask you a question. How many of you can relate to anything I've just said now, or have had any kind of adversity or challenges in your own life? Say yes if you have, if you can understand anything if you can relate to any part of my story. Okay, thank you, Peter, Alan, Esther, and the names go very quickly, so I miss Gary, thank you. Rosemary, thank you. And so why am I speaking to you today? The reason why I'm speaking to you today is this, and I speak all over the world and I do webinars every week, and I help other people. Reason why people say to me, in fact, Matt, if you are already wealthy, why do you teach others? Good question. When I was struggling and things weren't going right for me, I remember in my breakdown, I prayed and I was looking for a way and say, show me the way. And if I can find a way to change my life financially, I'm going to dedicate the rest of my life to help as many people around the world to have exactly the same thing. More happiness, more wealth, more money, a better lifestyle, the ones they dream of. And so that's what I've been doing. And so when I changed my financial situation and I became totally financially free, I remember I wrote clearly what my life mission is going to be. My life mission until I leave this earth, is to do this, is to inspire, educate, and empower people to live a life of joy, courage, passion, and purpose. And so when I'm asked by Internet Business School to come and speak, for me, it fits my mission. And that's why I'm here with you today. If I can help you in any way to take your life forward, your wealth forward, your business forward, that hopefully what I share with you today will help you to do that. So are you ready to get started? If you are ready to get started, say, let's go, let's go. But now I think you know a little bit about me. So type in, let's go, let's start, let's go. Okay, excellent. So the reason people like working with me, because I make it very clear. I made these things very clear and I simplify things. You see, we are born into this world. We're told to go to school, work hard, get good grades and get a good education that means you can get a good, secure job somewhere. And you know that's not a true, that's a fallacy. And we unfortunately, most people, 95% of people around the world will never be financially secure, financially successful. Why? Because of this old adage, right? And so what I like to do is to change those odds, change that ratio to help people make a lot more money. Why? Because if you add a lot of value and people pay you a lot of money, you can help other people, you can help your family, you can help your charities. Absolutely, nothing wrong with that. And live the lifestyle that you really want for you, for your family. And when you look back and said, I made this decision with Internet Business School, I met Mac Attram, I took this decision, you can get away from the constant stress and worry, the things that hold people back. I don't want that for you. So I love to help people to move from fear to freedom. I've done that countless times. I help people move from distractions to having more discipline. The more discipline you have in what you're doing, the better results you are going to get. I'm sure you'd agree. I help people move from a place where they feel stuck, paralyzed, to a place where now they can perform because they know what to do, how to do it, and they have the energy within them to do it as well. Now, I want to ask you a question, and I want you to answer this question in the chat box. What do these companies have in common? What do these companies have in common? Here's the energy part. Here's the energy part. So please put in there what you believe they have in common. Yes, they are all American. Yes, exactly. They are all multi-billion-dollar companies. They're successful companies. Everybody has heard of them. Very good. Thank you. Okay, so Ankuri, I think Ankuri has been with me before here. So Ankuri says this, that they all started in a recession. Okay, they all started in a recession. True. Now, I don't know, but it feels like we're going a certain way around the world. Apparently, we're heading into a recession or a deep depression over the next year or so. I don't know when. So if that's the case, and we know some great companies, great brands were created in a recession or in a deep depression, which is worse than a recession, then what does that mean for us? What can we do? So if you can do the same thing, as long as you have the right mindset and the abilities. So I want to break down to you what you can do about it as well. So when I wrote my third book, Face It and Fix It, which is for small business owners to turn their business around, doing that research, I realized at any given time, 20% of businesses are struggling. In other words, they can't pay their bills. They don't know where the money's going to come from. They can't get new clients. 60% were doing just average. They were doing okay, just okay. Now, doing okay, in other words, they're okay month by month. Yeah, money comes in, money comes out, and they are on an even keel. But I found that 20% of businesses, small businesses, are always doing great, always doing well. And I started to ask myself why. So I did a lot of research. It's all in my book, Doing Great. And I want to talk to you directly about how to create a business that's always doing great. How many of you would love to have a business now or in the future, or grow your business into a business that does great all the time? How many of you would like to have that? Because that's what I'm going to go through right now. If you would like to know how, say me, say yes, give me something that I know we're talking to each other. I would. Okay. Florinaris, I've got it there. Alan, Andrew, Jonah, Rosemary, Marilise, Andy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you want to do average, I'm not your guy. I don't do average. Louisa, thank you. If you want to struggle, I'm not your guy. If you want to do great, then listen up very carefully. And I say to people, there is a fine line. Can you see that fine line? If you want to be doing great all the time, you must understand what is the fine line between success and failure. What is that fine line between success and failure? When you watch the Olympics recently, there was that fine margin between gold medal and someone coming and a tenth of a second getting the silver medal. The accolades go to the gold medalist. What is that fine line? What's that fine margin when it comes to business and wealth? Let's talk about that. I've been saying for over 10 years, I've been saying this. The success If you want to write this down, fair enough. The success of the business, in other words, the success of your business or future business is largely driven by the psychology of the business owner. The success of the business is largely driven by the psychology of the business owner. In other words, how you think, how you behave, how you do things. And my friend Robert Kiyosaki says there are 4 mindsets in business, which most of you would have heard of. He said there's the employee mindset, there's the self-employed mindset, there's a big business mindset or brand mindset, and there's the investor mindset. Okay, so I want to know, before I go on actually, how many of you are, if you're an employee, put into chat box E, in other words, you work for someone. If you're self-employed, in other words, your business needs you to operate. If you're not there, it just can't run, put S. If you have a business that doesn't need you, it's automated, you can be away for 6 months, 7 months, 9 months, a year, and it'll still bring you money. That's a B, put B. If you're an investor, in other words, you're investing things for, so you can be an employee, an investor as well, that's fine. So if you're an investor, put I as well. Okay, so I'm getting some E's, I'm getting some S. Now, reason why this is important is this. I want you to understand something. Where is most of the wealth created? Is it on the ES side or the BI side? Where is most of the wealth created? Put ES or put BI. Okay, lots of people saying BI, BI, BI. Excellent, good. We're on the same page. 90% of the wealth is created on the BI side. And here's the thing, where do most people live? Most people live where? Most people live on the ES side. And so I come across countless number of people who say, Mac, I want to be financially successful. I want to be a millionaire. I want to have this. I want to, and I say, look, as an ES, it's difficult. You can do it, but it's difficult. You'll probably burn yourself out. On the BI side, it's much easier. So is it okay with you that what I want to be focusing on right now is the B quadrant side, okay? How do you create a B quadrant type business that generates wealth into the long term for you? So how do you create that? That's automated and it's working well for you. And I'm not talking online only, I'm talking about mostly offline. Internet Business School is great for all the online stuff, right? What I'm going to share with you, you can use on the online, and also where people call me in to help them is the offline stuff. When you have to speak to another human being, when you have to learn how to sell and close, when you have to systemize your business, when you have to recruit people and recruit them the right way, motivate them the right way. How do you create a proper business, not just online, but offline as well? So that's where I'm going to be focusing the talk on today. Now, if you've studied any kind of personal development, you will realize that there are 2 parts of the mind. There's the conscious part of our mind and the subconscious part of our mind. And it means that, you know, it's 90% of the time we are operating from the subconscious, 90% of the time. And when people often say to me, Mac, I'm doing this, but I'm not getting on. I'm doing this, but I'm not getting the results. I'm doing this. I know it's not what they're doing consciously. That's important. But there is something deep going on in their subconscious mind that's holding them back. For example, if you've lost money before, if you've been heartbroken before, if something in the past didn't go right the way you would have liked it before, if someone hurt you in the past before, if someone stole money from you in the past, there are all these little things that sit at a deep subconscious level that hold people back. I'm just checking can you all hear me and see me quickly? Okay, I'm just checking. You can, okay, my screen hasn't gone. Okay, good. There are these things sitting, thank you very much, Gary and Alex and Glenn, Alan, thank you, okay, good. And continue. And when these things sit why is it there are some people who are not as qualified as you, not as clever as you, not as smart as you, but they just fly in their results. And once you understand that, when we work with our clients, we go deep into the subconscious, what's going on here? Once we clean that out, they're able to fly forward in their results they make and the money they make. The stuff going on in your mind sometimes holds you back. I call this public enemy number 1. You're a good person. You work hard, you do the right things. And why aren't you moving forward? There's something going on at a deep subconscious level that holds people back. Public enemy number one. So where is your thinking and habits right now? Remember I said there's a fine line between success and failure. And that fine line is the psychology. As Jay said, wealthy people, millionaires, multimillionaires, billionaires have certain thinking, certain habits. Where is your thinking right now? And there's two key habits and thinking that I come across all the time. I'm going to use the word the victim thinking. Not that they're a victim, but it's just the victim thinking or the victim habits. Now, what's the thinking or the language of someone who's playing the victim? What's their language? Put it in the chat box for me, please. What's the victim's language? Do they blame? Yes or no? Do they, yeah, the blame game. Thank you, David. I can't win. Poor me, Louisa said. Very good. I'm getting, life's not fair. It's not my fault. They make excuses. They're negative. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Janice. Glenn, it's someone else's. Absolutely. The victim's language, not that they're a bad person, but you hear them constantly complaining, moaning, this person's fault, that person's fault. And you know, I ran a webinar where all I wanted to do was to give a lot of value to people. And I was teaching it and people loving it, and people, some were, you know, in the chat, answering back and everything else. And one person was constantly negative. This person doesn't know me, has never spent any time with me, never spent a day with me, never spent a day in my shoes, but yet they were negative and complaining. And I explained this principle that if this is how you're doing it on a live webinar, I wonder how you're doing it in your real life. If all you can do whilst other people are learning and all you're getting is value and you're moaning and complaining and making excuses, never, yeah, someone said, Rosemary, never, they have a big chip on their shoulder, and it's nothing to do with me. And this is what I'm saying is, you know, when we talk about the conscious and the subconscious, something has happened to them that's sitting deep in their subconscious mind that somehow when they hear a speaker, they or a trainer or someone trying to give them something, they get into that automatic frame. Now, what's the language of the champion then? What's the language and the thinking habits of the champion? Put it in the chat box for me, please. Remember, this is the energy part, playing full out. I will win. Thank you, Alan. What's the language of the champion? Because this is very, very important. I can do it. Thank you, Esther. Alex, they take responsibility. Thank you, Alex. Yeah, absolutely. The champion is, yeah, Glenn, thank you. I can do this. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to go for it. I may not know all the answers. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. I love that from network marketing. Lynn, they are positive. Now, if you want to achieve at any level in your life or in your business, you must understand that, give me 1 second. How you behave and how you do things is going to be so, so critical to the result you get. If you play the victim, you'll get victim results. That's poor results. If you play the champion, that means you'll come across an obstacle, but you'll find a way around it. You go over it, you go under it, you go through it, find a way to get that result that you're looking for. So I wanted to talk about that for a moment. So just out of interest, how many of you own your own business? If you own your own business, give me a Y. If you don't, give me a no. Or if you're thinking about creating your own business, give me a TH or thinking. If you own your own business, okay, Glenn is, okay, good. I'm getting a mix, okay, good. Some, yes, some thinking about it and some no business at the moment, okay. All right, excellent. Okay, good. Someone saying, yes, I have now. Right, what I want to give you is this. I want to ask you a question. If you own your own business, and you don't have to put it in the chat box, it's up to you. It's just an exercise for you. I want you to consider something. If you have your own business, I want you to think about your revenue right now. Or if you don't have a business, think about your personal income. And I want you to write down on a piece of paper, what is your revenue right now? Or if you don't have a business, what's your personal income salary right now? What is your salary from work right now? And what I want you to write next to it is, how much revenue do you want, or what's the personal income you would like per month in the next 1 year? In 1 year's time, what's the revenue you'd like your business to generate? Or if you don't have a business, what's the personal income you'd like to earn? But in an ideal world, if you knew how, what would that be? Now, if you're doing this exercise fully, go ahead and do it. Answer the question. If you're doing it fully, you'll notice that if you do this properly, you'll notice there's a gap between where you are right now and where it is you want to be. So what I want to do is I want to create a bridge between where you are right now and where it is you want to be. And that bridge is, what's the education that will get me there? What do I need to do in order to get there? That's the question that will be going through your head. Now, Sarah says, love to earn 10,000 per month. Yep, absolutely. I'd love to show you exactly how to do that. I want to share something with you. Some of you, for those of you who are not in business, listen very carefully. If you are in business already, you will understand what I'm going to share with you right now. Now, it's called a business growth cycle, which I created. And in the business growth cycle, when you start your business, guess what? You are invisible. You are invisible to the marketplace. Nobody knows you're there. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody really cares. And so when you first start your business, typically you're now going to go out and look for clients somehow. You know, the Internet Business School, Jay has been sharing with you how to get things done and how to earn 100,000 a year. All fantastic. But right now you are invisible to the market. And when you're invisible to the market, what's your cash flow like? If you look at a red line, the cash flow is what? Zero. There's nothing coming in. There's no money coming in. But you don't want that to last for long. And so one of the things I teach people is this. At my business boot camp, for those who haven't started their business yet, we help them to create the business that's right for them. Not the business that everyone's doing or someone told them to do. No, the one that's right for them, deep from their subconscious and their passion and their purpose. And then I say to them, look, just go out and find 3 clients. And the quickest way to do this is this. Go and find 3 to 5 people that you can help for free. And what you want is a testimonial, video testimonial, written testimonial in terms of results that they're getting. So when you're invisible to the market, you need social proof. And once you have that social proof, you can then show others as well. Okay. Number 2, once you've started getting more and more clients, what happens, you move into chaotic business activities. So chaotic business activities looks like this. You've got a client, you've got to fulfill, you deliver to them, you got a client, and it's a buzz, but it's hard work. You're trying to figure things out. And the cash flow is up and down. 1 month you got the money, next month you haven't got the money, then you got the money, then you haven't got the money. It's up and down, but it's chaotic. You haven't got any systems in place, no automation. Number 3 is what I call the emerging player. The emerging player is starting to get to actually understand how to get clients consistently. And that consistent number of clients says, okay, now I can start hiring some people. I can start putting some systems in place. I can start doing all the things that will give me freedom as well. Cash flow, in terms of money coming in, it's still up and down, but it's mostly what? It's mostly up. It's mostly up, which is a good thing. In a moment, I'm going to ask you, where are you? Are you 1, 2, or 3? Or are you 4? 4 is client abundance. Client abundance it means you've set up your business the right way. You've got the right team in place. You've got the right systems and automation in place. You've got you're doing the right sales and marketing. You know how to attract clients. You've got an abundance of clients. You're mostly focused on delivering to them and having a steady base. Well, this is a good place to be because money is mostly up now. It's a great place to be. There is a 5th place, and this 5th place we call market dominance. Now, I heard Jay talk about your niche. When I say market dominance, I'm talking about your niche market dominance. Now, if you've got things in place in terms of systems, in terms of your team, in terms of your structure, in terms of all these things, market dominance means simply that people are attracted to you. You're getting enough referrals, you're getting business coming to you, and you are known in your niche, in your market, as the person to go to. And I'm not saying market dominance is not taking over the world per se, but it could be that thing you are the best at, and your company is the best at, and you're renowned for that. Now, at that point, you can, at this point, I say to people, you're making a lot of money, things seem easy, things seem straightforward. At this point is the time to make sure all your systems are in place. At this point is when you can now diversify. This point is when you can franchise. At this point is when you can license it. But many people get to client abundance, number 4, things are starting to go well, and guess what? They jump into another business, or they jump into another project, and they think, why is that business collapsing? Guess what? They never took the time to set things up in the right way. And if you don't do it the right way, you fall back to chaotic activities or emerging player again. Right, so very briefly, if you understood what I said, put into the chat box where you are in this place. Where are you? Are you 1, 2, 3, or 4? Put it into the chat box for me, please. 1, 2, 3, or 4. We've got some people, get a lot of people at 1. We've got some people, oh, the system's going slow, is it? Okay, lots of people at 1, lots of people at some at 2. Okay, good. Let me move my screen forward. Give me 1 second. Why is this? Give me 1 second. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm not sure what's happening. It says I've got no power, so give me a second, please. I've got power. There's power to. There's power in. Give me 1 second. It looks like it's gonna. My laptop. Okay. All right. If you can still hear me and see me, give me a yes while I get this power up and running. Okay. If you're learning something, type in L. If you're learning anything so far, give me an L learning. But the picture is breaking. Okay. All right. It should stabilize now. I'm not sure what happened there, but that's technology. The champion wouldn't give up, and I will not give up. I will continue to give you the value that you deserve for the time and energy that you are here. Yes, but screen has shrunk. Okay. I'm going to share my screen again and tell me if you see the screen. Streaming looks okay. Are we good? Excellent. Thank you for your patience. Thank you, Peter, Alan, Lynette, Dimitri, Derek. Thank you, Alex, Lynn, Patch. Okay, good. We're good to go. So right now, what I heard from a lot of people is they're 1s or 2s or they haven't started yet. But reason why I wanted to share that with you is business is a journey. And it's not, I started this year in 6 months' time, everything is roses. I'm not going to be the one to pull the wool over your eyes and say everything is easy. No. But I will share with you that all you need is a system. And when you know what the system is, follow the system, whether you are starting or whether you are trying to grow, follow the system and it will get you there. It's taken me over 20, I've been an entrepreneur for over 21 years. It's taken me that time to understand that any new business I start now, it's a system. When I'm ever trying to grow a business, I follow the system. Would you like to know what the system is? Would you like to know? If I get lots of yeses, I'll show you the system. If I don't get enough yeses, that means you're not interested and I'll just continue teaching you something else. Would you like to? Okay, good. Let me share with you the system that our clients are using to grow rapidly. Now, this gentleman's name is Ronald Harmson. He's based in the Netherlands, and he came to us where for 10 years he was stuck. He had plateaued. He was making good money, but he wasn't growing, and he couldn't understand why. And I showed him this same system, and he followed it. Listen to what he said. Listen.
My name is Ron Harmsen, and I'm the CEO and owner of a development company here in the Netherlands. And I've been in business for over 24 years now. And the last 10 years, I have been stuck against this glass ceiling, if I would call it like that. So I was stuck at, well, roughly 800,000 euro in sales every year, which by itself is amazing, nothing to complain about. But by following the program, we are increasing that by 100% this year. So I have a couple of things in place which I learned through the program of Mac, getting systems in place, having the right people in my team, knowing which people to recruit. And also I know about all the pitfalls and all the tiny things I can improve from here.
Absolutely. So he grew his business. This was from 2019 to 2020, even through COVID. We helped him grow double his business, 100%, from 800,000 to 1.6 million. Right, here's a system. Now watch this. There are 5 parts to it. The first part is this. Do you have a story? And that story is irresistible. Why? Because the clients that come to you, prospects that come to you, if there is no story, there is no emotional link to your business. And guess what? 95% of small businesses, there is no story. And how do you create the story? There is a process to creating the story, which also includes why you started this business, what's the vision, what's the mission, where are we going, why? And there's a way of creating that. And it must be irresistible. Now, the second part is having a strategy. And that strategy must be powerful. What do I mean by strategy? Right, how are we going to identify the right clients that is right for us? What is our niche? And how are we going to go after them? What does it mean? So I'm going to share with you, I'm going to go deeper into this in a moment. The third part is how to sell. How to sell and sell authentically. You see, some people don't like selling. They don't know how to sell. Whenever I get called into a company to say, look, they say they've got a cash flow problem, I know it's to do with the inability to sell or the wanting to sell. Now, again, do you think I have a system for that? I have a system for every single area. And sales is a process. And you saw Ronald Harmsen just now. Once he understood the sales process, in other words, you're talking to someone on the phone, or you're speaking to someone on Zoom, or you're speaking to someone in a live situation. What do you say? How do you say it? How do you position things so now they buy from you? Right, so I teach people how to do that. Systems. How do you create this? What is the system? Why is it important? You know, for most small businesses, guess who the system is? They are the system. And if something happens to them, there is no business. So I show people how to create the right systems for their marketing, for their sales, for their operations, for their finance. All these things as a small business owner must be in order for you to create wealth. And the fifth area is your structure. Structure simply means your team. How do you find the right people? How do you motivate them? How do you recruit them? How do you create the code of honor and the rules so they follow your systems and you are able to grow? Because if you can't create the right structure, a legal framework, intellectual property, the right team, then what happens is you are trying to figure it all out and do it all yourself. It's a problem. And when I say a team, it doesn't have, you know, for some companies, we help them to recruit people to come into their office or in their environment and work from the same location. But as Jay said, part of your team could be the people you recruit from Upwork. You know, for some people to do some short-term work for you. It doesn't have to be you, but you have to know how to do that. How do you find them? How do you recruit them? How do you get them on your team? So of these 5 areas, I want to focus on, in the little few minutes that we have, I want to go a bit deeper into the strategy side. And the strategy, as I said, must be powerful. And the question I get our clients to start with is this. The question I get our clients to start with is, I get them to answer this question. Why would anyone give you their money in business? And I'm going to ask you the same question. If you're in business, why would anyone give you their money? or pay for your value or pay for your goods or services? Put it in the chat box for me, whatever you think the answer is. Why would anyone give you their money in business? And I'm not getting many answers right now. So, okay, you've got a good product, thank you. Solving a problem, thank you. Providing a service, thank you. So Alex, Lynn, Gary, thank you. Glenn, thank you. Trust. All these things are important. Giving value, Louisa, Dimitri, transformational value, a track record, David, Kasonde, your unique take, Derek, add value to their bottom line. All these things are very, very important, and it's a given. They must trust you or they won't buy from you. You must give good value, otherwise there's no business. So I want you to write this thing down, okay? Because some people have got partly right. And Tony, thank you. Solutions, Andy. This is simply this. This is the most important thing you must understand when it comes to business and especially marketing, okay? Because if you don't understand this, everything becomes very, very difficult. It's simply this. The prospect or your ideal client, they have a problem that they don't want and a result that they don't have yet. Write this down. This is so, so important. They have a problem that they do not want and a result that they do not have. They're the result that they do, but they don't have yet. Some people will come up, yeah, they have a problem, but then also they have a problem, but they want a result. And this applies, you know, I've had many counter arguments with different people as to, oh, but I sell this doesn't apply. I said, well, they give me the example, and I give them the example of water. Are there different prices of water? You can buy the 50 cents water. You can also buy the $5 water. What's the difference? What's the problem? Well, some people don't want to drink that. And for some people, the result they want is prestige. They want to be applauded by the people who, so they can say, this is what I have in my home. And for some people, it's just convenience. Okay, so it doesn't matter what you are selling. You could be a consultant or a coach or whatever. What's the problem that the prospect has? And what's the result they want but they don't have yet? Okay, so this is where most business owners go wrong, because the strategy is all wrong. And when the strategy is all wrong, they suffer in silence and think, oh, why aren't people buying? Why aren't people buying? Some of the reasons why they're not buying is this: you have no idea about who your ideal prospect is. You have no idea who they are. And then for some people, they have no idea about their prospects' pains or problems. You've got to figure that out. And for some people, it is about they have no idea about their prospects' present emotions associated with that pain. So what is the emotion that that person goes through? And if you can identify that emotion, can you use it in your marketing? Yes. Can you use it in your sales? Yes. Can you use it on your website, in your brochure? Yes. But you need to understand what these emotions are, because people buy from emotion and then they justify it with logic. They have no idea about the prospect's needs are currently. I'll give you an example. A lot of our clients, when COVID hit, so 2020, March, April, May, they didn't know what to do. So I ran lots of webinars for free, just helping them. And I said, look, now 2018, 2019, you was doing well. Now 2020, the market's changed. I want you to analyze what is your current, your prospects, what are their needs now? You know what their problem is, you know what they want, but what are their needs now? And what you were providing previously may not be suitable now. You may have to change it slightly and reposition it. And so we help some of our clients who had restaurants that were closed. We help them to reposition and actually put, for example, one of them put the chef's menu online, and then they'll deliver the ingredients to the house so they can follow the instructions and create it. We showed them different ways to make money, although they couldn't operate their restaurant. So we had coaches, trainers, all these people that we got them to think differently. And I agree with Jay. Your money and your wealth is in your niche. In my business bootcamp, I help people to hone in deep onto who their ideal niche is and how to dominate that niche so they make more money. Now, Here's the prospect's journey. And I want you to watch carefully. Here's a prospect's journey. They're going on about their day. They don't know who you are. They've never heard of you. You're invisible to them. But we have to find a way to attract them. Okay, there are various ways to attract them. Different ways we can do that. Once we have them, we must nurture them, look after them, give them value, give them value, give them value. And at some point, we're providing so much value that we're able to convert them into a paying client. And that paying client means that now we've got money coming in. Repeat, this is constant. This is the prospect's journey, I call it, okay? And part of your strategy is to understand what is the prospect's journey, what are we going to do to attract them, how are we going to nurture them, what are we saying, and how to convert them. The conversion step for a lot of people is very hard. This is the selling. And sometimes that conversion can happen online if it's a low value product, but if it's a $1,000 product, $2,000 product, £10,000 product, whatever, somehow you need to speak to them. And I teach people how to speak to others, get their message across, and close them into a paying client. And I do that all at my boot camp. Now, here's an example. This is Prinsip. She's based in Indonesia. And again, 2020, 2019, she was growing, she was getting a bit stuck. We showed her some things, and she grew a business from $15 million to $45 million, following the same system I'm going through right now. But everything has a block. Is this block in place? This is in place. This is in place. Listen to what she says.
Hi, I'm Prinsip from Indonesia. I'm doing a property developer business in Batam, the island in Indonesia. Then during this pandemic period, I did manage to get a course from Mac, the MBA course. Then it was amazing because the course is like having the course to understand about the sales, understand about the marketing. Also, we learned a lot about the system setup. Then, amazingly, during this period, my company managed to improve our sales in 2019 from 15 million to 3x become 45 million in 2020, which is also, we are very surprised because of the sales and marketing terms that we learned from Mac. Is really, I apply everything into my business. Then we get that result. Then this 2021, beginning of 2021, we already managed to like get 15 million or so. Then we are targeting at 10x in the future, in the very future. So
the system works if you apply it, learn it and apply it. She did, and in less than a year grew threefold to 45 million a year. So here's something I want to share with you. We've already understand that the client has a pain or a problem they don't want, and the result that they want but they don't have yet. So once you understand that, then what we're going to do, we know we want to make profit from that. We want to add so much value that they pay us. That's what we want. Now, on that journey, part of the strategy is, who's the right prospect for my company? What's the right product for them right now that I want to market and sell? And what's the right price? Because maybe the price they were paying in 2018, 2019, with the conditions of the market has changed, maybe the price has to change slightly, maybe. So this is part of the strategy you must understand. Let me give you another person, Anna Kitney, who followed the same system. Listen to what she said.
Anna Kitney from Bergeron, and I want to share a quick testimonial on my coaching with Mac Attram. So I've known Mac Attram for about a year, and in the last kind of 6 months, Mac and I have been doing some private coaching together, and it's been absolutely phenomenal. One of the things that Mac helped me get really clear on was on my finances, putting together a financial forecast, putting together kind of budgets and things for, hiring team, expanding my company. So we were able to hire a person in the role of sales. He was very strategic in helping me put the right people into my team so that my company could grow and scale. So we brought on one of our sales girls, and so we were able to double our profits month on month through Mac's coaching. We also got rid of our office space that we had, so now got our team working remotely. So that saved us £8,000 a year in rent that we no longer need to spend. Mac's coaching has been incredibly insightful. He asks very deep, powerful questions that really draw the best out of you. And so I was able to make very strategic decisions in my business to a position where I could pull myself out of being in the business to become a business owner. So I'm very excited for all the things that...
So I want you to answer one question for me in the chat box. How many of you are realizing that in order for any business to succeed or your business to succeed, you need a system? If you understand that, put yes. If you understand, if your business must have a system in order to succeed, give me a yes. Yes, 100%. And so most people don't know what that system looks like or how to create it. I teach people exactly how to do that. Any business, doesn't matter what you're in, what you're involved in. And this is a good thing. If you're new to business and you understand the system, follow it, okay? If you're going to start a business, understand it. Now, when you heard her speak just now, Anna Kitney, watch this. Part of the system is what I call the value chain. And the value chain says, okay, we need to be able to prospect. Our strategy says, this is the ideal client, this is the ideal niche, all this stuff that I spoke about. Then once we have them, we have to be able to, once we're clear on that, we have to be able to market and market effectively, promote effectively, and attract the right people to the company who understand what we do, the value we add, the value we give them. And so now they're attracted to us. We must have a process to what? Persuade them to buy from us. So marketing's job is to attract. The sales role is to what? Close and convert. So I teach people how to do all these three things: the strategy, the marketing, the sales, and how to sell effectively. If you're on the phone or on Zoom or whatever, or live with them or on stage, it doesn't matter. And then once we've got their money, they've paid us good money, we've got to look after them. Do you agree? We've got to look after them. And so our operation is set up to perform. Our operation, we set it up to satisfy those clients. And so they become raving fans. So our operation must be set up so that, you know, and everything we track, I have systems for all these areas here. And then the final area is this. No, business is all about numbers, okay? And you don't have a business if you're not cash flowing. If money's not coming in, there is no business. So the last part is, okay, what's the financing? Do we have our accounts receivable, accounts payable in order? How are we cash flowing month on month? How are we monitoring those numbers? How are we measuring those numbers? So I have a system for that as well. This is Amobola Satomi. She said, the best part is my sales activity performance were 2 times higher within, you see, these number of weeks, and better results than she was getting in the past 6 months, all because she knew now what to do and she was clear on what to do. And you know, it's funny thing is, I was listening to Jay earlier on before I came on. And he said, mentors have mentors, get yourself a mentor. And yes, coaches have mentors. I have a mentor, Simon Coulson. I know Jay has a mentor. And I want to share with you very briefly who some of my mentors are, right? Some of you will not know, but I practice martial arts. I've been practicing martial arts for over 37 years now, okay? I started when 37 years, 38 years? Well, I started when I was 13, so we'll figure it out quickly. I'm in my 50s now, okay? And for the last 21 years, this is my instructor, Grandmaster Trevor Nichols. The reason why I surround him, I attend his training and he pushes me because I want him to push me. I want him to push me to be better than I can be, to my potential. Now, through his tutelage and his mentoring and his instruction and his advising, I became a UK champion. So I'm a former UK champion in Taekwondo. Right now I'm a 5th Dan black belt in Taekwondo, all because I had someone who was pushing me and not me trying to figure it out on my own. You met one of my other mentors, Robert Kiyosaki. This is us having dinner one night in a yurt in another country. So Rich Dad Poor Dad changed my life. This is Les Brown. You know, when I was broke and I was struggling and things weren't going right, you know, I read his books, I watched some of his audio, you know, I listened to some of his audio tapes. Yeah, that's how long it was. And then we became friends later on. So all these people were mentors of mine, and then we became friends because they changed my life. This is Blair Singer, who's the Rich Dad advisor to Robert Kiyosaki in the area of sales and leadership, changed my life. And I wouldn't be where I am now, financially, relationship-wise, mindset wise without these people. So get yourself a mentor. I totally agree. Now, some of the biggest things I've learned working, how many of you say, actually, let me check in with you. How many of you realize that you can get results faster by having some kind of a coach or advisor or mentor helping you and pushing you forward? If you realize that and know that, give me a yes. Good. Louisa says, yes, I have one. Excellent. Peter, thank you. Esther, Dimitri, Glenn says yes. Alan, Rosemary says yes. Chris says yes, absolutely. And some of you are mentors and coaches to other people. And you know what I find very, very funny in the marketplace? If you're a coach, there's some coaches and mentors, coaches I've come across, and I say, who's your coach? And they say, well, I don't have one. I don't have one. I said, well, then you must be a fake coach, because all good coaches would have a coach. Why? Because everyone is trying to get better and better and better. Janice says, how can you afford a mentor if you are flat broke? Some mentors won't ask for any money. So this is the mindset of what I was talking about earlier on. Because with the right mindset, the right thinking, the right habits, not every mentor you need to pay, but you need to know how to do that. People who stay in my environment long enough, they start figuring these things out. Now, let me share with you what I call our CPR model. The CPR, this is not the resuscitation, or it could be the resuscitation for some businesses, but C stands for certainty, P for power, R for results. And right now, with all the hundreds of thousands of people I've trained around the world, I've come across people who are just surviving. In other words, they are lost, they feel impotent. From a place of results, they feel like they're going backwards, not forward. And what I say to them is this: there is a way to change your situation. The language they use is that some of the victim language is this: I'm not good enough. This won't work for me. I'm not good enough. This won't work for me. And for me, through analysis, it's actually based in fear and ignorance. Fear and ignorance. In other words, they stuck where they are because it's something they don't know. And the truth is, all you need is help. I'm living proof of that. All you need is help. And when you have that help, now you get more confidence. And that confidence moves to a place where we call striving. So striving, you're moving forward, you're developing, the results are up and down, they're up and down, but you're striving forward. Then if you continue applying and doing the right things, you see, where does the confidence come from? The confidence is now someone supporting you and advising you and pushing you the right way. Now, to move from striving to driving requires knowledge. It requires know-how. How do I do this? And when you get the right knowledge, the right information, now you have more consistency, you feel more capable, results starts increasing. And some people get to a place where they are driving their life, driving their business, and they use the term that this is good enough. This is good enough. I will tell you this, that good enough, and the myth is that okay is good enough. That's a dangerous myth. I'm okay, this is good enough. Why is that dangerous? Because I'll share something with you. The fact is, good enough is a trap. 2018, 2019, the people said, oh, this is good enough. Good enough. They realized in 2020, when things changed, their business started going backwards, not forward. So I want you to pay attention to what I'm showing you here right now, because I want you to be taking your life forward and your business forward. So you've got to get yourself ready to go to the next level, the pinnacle, which we call thriving. And in order to move from driving to thriving, the only way you can do that is to challenge yourself. You've got to challenge yourself and say, actually, I want to build this type of business. I want to do this because it's going to make a big difference to me, my family, my charities, the foundation I'm involved with. How many of you believe, or how many of you feel in your heart that there is a bigger, better person waiting to play a bigger game and live an amazing, live a better lifestyle as well? If that is you, put yes in the chat box for me, please. I want to know who we have in the room. How many of you feel that there's huge potential inside of you? Huge potential inside of you. Okay, a few of you. Okay, good. I'm getting some answers here. Fantastic. And so when you challenge yourself to that place, what happens is this: you feel more driven, you feel unstoppable, and above all, the results you start getting are exponential results. Okay, so what does that mean? You see, now you're in a place where everything seems to be easy, but you work towards that. I want you to ask you another question. Where are you right now? I want you to put into the chat box SU for surviving, ST for striving, DR for driving, and TH for thriving. I just want to know where you, and this is an analysis for yourself to say, okay, this is where I am. And it will also determine to you what help I may need. We've got some people who are surviving, some people striving, but some people, for one person so far, driving. And I will applaud those people who kept their energy up and actually participated. There are people who are not saying anything. That's fine as well. So we've got most people surviving and striving. Okay, so what I help people is actually get to, I've helped people move from employee to self-employed, from self-employed to business owner, from business owner to investor. I've been through all that motion myself. I've helped people move from surviving to striving to driving and thriving. I've helped people to do that. Let me share something with you here. I want you to imagine an iceberg on the ocean. Imagine yourself as the iceberg on the ocean. And you know what the iceberg looks like? The most of the mass, the majority of the mass of the iceberg is below the water. I'm sure you would agree. 90% of the mass of the iceberg is below the water, below the surface. That means only 10% is on the surface. And the reason why I'm saying that to you is this: the wind can do whatever it likes on top of the ocean, above the surface, but the mass below the bottom will move however it chooses to. It doesn't matter what the wind is doing up the top there. I'm sure you understand. So there are many people come to people like me or Internet Business School or Jay or Simon, and they buy our books or our programs or get coaching, all these kind of stuff. But for me, when I look at that, that's only surface level. It's only surface level. And I started to ask myself, why do people do that? And for our clients, when we've done the research, it's because they want more certainty. And when they have more certainty, they feel more driven. They want better results. In other words, the results they don't want it to be average. They want it to be what? Exponential. Exponential results is what they want. And in terms of power, they want to feel unstoppable. They want to really feel unstoppable in what they do. So if you want to feel, how many of you want any of these things for yourself? You want more certainty, you want more better results, and more power as well. Exponential results. How many of you want any of these things for yourself? Okay, good. Alex says yes. Okay, good. Some people want, yes, only one, Alan wants, okay, quite a few of you say yes. But I want you to understand, once you have exponential results, you feel unstoppable, you feel driven. Imagine you've created the life you want. You're making the money that you really want. You're living the lifestyle that you really want. You're able to help other people. You're able to buy the things you want to buy. You're able to help your family and charities. But is that what it's all about? Is that it? At real deep down, at a deep level, what is it really all about? Apart from the money and the wealth and the trappings, what is it really all about at a deep level? Put in the chat box for me, please. Guess? You can guess. You know, this is where champions get involved and they share their thoughts. What is it all really about? Louisa says giving back. I love that. Alan says self-satisfaction. Thank you. Janice, personal achievement, fulfillment. Dimitri, happiness and inner peace. Thank you. Peter, peace of mind. Lynn Freudland, fulfilling your purpose and helping others. I love all these answers. I love all these answers. And I will concrete those answers into one. And that thing is this. Alex says, greater satisfaction and self-worth. And that thing is this. I believe all leaving a legacy for family and others. I'm going to concrete all these into one right now. I believe small business owners should stand proud. Stand proud against what they've created. Stand proud of what they have done. I believe small business owners should be able to stand proud in the marketplace, stand proud in front of their family, stand proud in front of their friends. Because you've done the work, you've done the hard work. And when I say stand proud, I'm not talking about ego. I'm not talking about pride. I'm talking about being proud of the work that you have done and other people being proud of what you've done and able to add to other people's lives as well. Now, right now, I want you to think about where you are and where you're going. This is your present. And in 12 months' time, where do you want your future to be? And do you want it to be thriving? Do you want to be driving? Do you want to be striving? Do you want to be surviving? Where do you want to be in 12 months' time? Okay, most people will say they want to be driving and thriving. If you want your life, so yeah, put it in the chat box. Where do you want to be in 12 months' time from now? You spent time in the Internet Business School. Where do you want to be? Put TH, DR, ST, or SU. Where do you want to be in 12 months' time from now? Okay, most people say driving and thriving. Excellent. Some people are not answering anything. Marilise, thank you. Got lots of different answers. Johannes and Kasondi, thank you. Janice, I'm getting lots of different answers here. Patch, good, driving. And you've got a choice. Some people say, well, I'll do nothing. I'll do nothing. And most people here have said driving and thriving. Those of you who say nothing, what happens is this. Sometimes in their mind, they say, well, it's too risky. I don't know what the market's going to be like, or it's too hard, or it's too costly. I can't afford it. Afford what? I haven't said anything yet. Now, and so they choose to drift. They choose to drift. And drifting, if you say, I'm not going to do anything. In fact, what happens is this. Can you see the line between your present and your future? If you wait 6 months and you do nothing, take no action, guess what? You actually drift downwards. So what I say to people, jump the lines as quick, make a quick decision, jump the lines to driving and thriving, make that your mindset and ride the curve upwards, make a decisive decision and take decisive action towards that. Because that's the only way you can reach it. Nobody's going to give it to you on a plate and give it to you in your hand, okay? So how long should you wait? It's entirely up to you. But I want to say this. So how long should you wait? How long should you really wait? The reason why I bring that up is this. Alex says, don't wait. People come to me and they say, Matt, can you help me? And when they come to me, it seems like this. It seems like their head is underwater and they are finding it difficult to breathe. Actually, do this. Everyone, just hold your breath for a second, for a minute. Hold your breath, hold your breath. Breathe in, hold your breath. Hold it. Imagine being underwater. Hold your breath, no breathing. Hold your breath. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Okay, let it go, let it go. It's unnatural, right? And I see them struggling. I see them going the wrong way. And what happens is it seems like I put my hand in, pull them out, and then they can breathe again. Why? Because they now got a system they can follow. They've got things they can do that actually generates results instead of trying to figure it out on their own.